Hello and welcome. It is Kristen from Life of Crafting, and today is my birthday. So I am giving myself permission to take whatever projects I had, put them aside, and take out a pack. Today is a Friday, so I will have all weekend. I'm giving myself to just do what I want in my craft room. So I said, get out what you really feel like you want to be doing. And I'm going to tell you, it was tough. I went through several different packs of paper and things like that. And my other concern was that I wanted to be done at the end of the 3 days. And I had some that were very involved. I'll get to them someday, and they are beautiful, but I wanted something, like I said, that I felt like I could get finished. So I pulled out this Mintay Merry and Bright paper. I must have bought this, probably going on 2 years ago. And it's a beautiful paper pack. And at the time, it was my first purchase of any kind of Mintay paper. And I wasn't sure how I would like the 6x6 version versus the 12x12. So I should have taken this out first. I wanted to show the paper in a 12x12 because you can, obviously being bigger scale, see the prints on it. Now, there is some beautiful graphics on the front, and if I don't get so tired of it, never mind. I was going to say I could use that as a card front, but the back has all of these beautiful little embellishments is what I'm going to do. And these are going to be perfect for me to sit and fussy cut out. So forget about the front, it's all about the back. So yes, this will be one of my first things, is to sit and cut these out so that I can just mix and match as they go. Then adorable paper. I may have done a haul video on this way back, but I'm going to go through it again because I have learned some new things, seen some different things being done. You know, hey, so let's go buy the 6x6 next to this. So the front cover has like 4 cut-aparts, and I'm definitely thinking to use those because they're like the perfect size. They look like they're about maybe 3x3. Yeah, because it's a 6x6 pad. Duh. So for me, I'm thinking I could probably get 2 card fronts out of that. I have seen some really beautiful, I think they're calling it like a mystery cut or something, where you basically just cut this in 6 and you use them as the front of the card and use it however it falls. The back is a just white, looks like a hardwood floor, like weathered. Obviously the beauty is on that side, so my guess is I'm going to be using this side. We'll see. And again, you got this. I'm going to just do these side by side. I hope I got them in frame. This is going to be a great one to cut in half and have for the front of a maybe like a slimline looking kind of card. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because if I do the 6, well, I don't know. I'll see how things fall out. And then the back is just a like teal blue polka dot. Really cute, but I don't know. We'll see how that cuts out. Now, there is another one of these that's very similar. So, you know, when I first saw this, I thought like it was the same one, but it's not. If you notice, there's the tree on the other side and things like that. The back of this is like a burlap. Again, the beauty is on the front. I don't know that I would do anything with that back. This is like a whole lot of different, there's like tickets and music and bingo, and so this is just a montage of different things you could cut out and use on the front as like an embellishment. Back is this beautiful holly and berries on a like another teal blue color. So that's going to be tough because this is going to be a really good paper that you can use as like a background or a highlight, maybe like a strip or something like that. We'll have to see. I don't know how I'm going to do that. This has got a bunch of just pine boughs, holly, poinsettias on like an aged looking background. This red, I'll be telling you, was tough. I tried to find some different reds in my papers, and I don't know how much I'm going to use. I don't know. Maybe I just don't need to back it up with a red, because I love layers. So this is a copyright 2020. So yeah, I did get it 2 years ago. So we'll see where that goes. Great cut aparts. Great cut aparts. The smaller ones, I don't know. I do have some different layouts in mind that I could do that with. We'll have to see. The back is the frames. I'll be honest, I've seen these when people like have shown they have a whole book that's just doors, frames, and that kind of stuff. And I kind of scratched my head, like, what is somebody gonna do with a frame? Like, what are you gonna do? And some of the designers for the Mintay really did a nice job. I don't know if I have the skill set that I could duplicate that. So I really think I just love the look of what's on this anyway. So I have a feeling I'm just gonna use them. Here's another one, unless they're repeating. Oh, they're repeating, okay. So in this paper, you're getting 2 of each. So that's kind of cool. So like maybe I don't have to decide on that if I want to use that side or that side, because I got 2 of them. I thought, no, I guess it was this. I thought there was like a sticker sheet or something, but I guess it was just this. So that should give you an idea of what the difference between a 6x6 scale is and excuse me, and a 12x12. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna work them 2 separately or kind of like pull them in. So I'm gonna pull a couple sketches and then I'll see how I feel with that. I then pulled in, this is just a Christmas red, as what the name is at Hobby Lobby. It really seems to be like a brighter red that's gonna go with this. This one, I think that's too much red, I'll probably do something else. This is the green jewel. This is a textured paper, but they do have it in a smooth. This green seemed to really complement this paper pack, so I'm gonna do that. And then this is the pool party color cardstock from Stamping Up, and that seemed to be a really good accent for these ones like this. I don't know that I would use it in a layer for like this one. That's like the polka dot, because they don't seem to kind of go. But it did seem to be a good mix with like this one here for a layer. So we'll see. Like I said, I want to pull out, I did print myself up some new sketches. So let's see. From watching Christy Marcotte recently, she's been using a lot of these Sugar Pea Design sketches, and I'm kind of digging them. So I printed up, I went on very briefly, printed up a number 14, a 48. This one, you know, sometimes you cut those papers a little funky. Maybe they, you know, the edge doesn't cut real nice and you got to cut it smaller than you wanted or something. I think this is a sketch that I will save for those times where there's just, the paper's, like I said, funky, and you really kind of kick yourself for how you did what you did. Maybe you didn't cut it straight and now you got this like angle on the paper or something. I think this is one that's going to make you look like a hero. It's going to be like, oh, I meant to do that. This one I was really loving. They seem to do their fishtail with this like angle in. That was intriguing to me. And this one, I have a couple things in my, so I think this is going to be the one I start with, because I really have myself with some inspiration for that. And then I looked at freshly made sketches, and I'm just showing you that I went on, I think these are going to be some good ones for using up scraps that you may have, because I am trying to do a once a month series on using up scraps. So while I was in there, I just printed those up. Oh, and then some of the sheet load of cards sketches that I'll be getting to before long. I don't know that, I don't know, maybe I'll incorporate these into that. We'll see how I feel, but right now this sketch is calling to me. So I'm thinking that, yeah, let's see. I finally did find my Love from Lizzie little sticker things. I don't know why, pinstripe sticker things. Why I'm having such a tough time with that one. So I may try them for the first time because I was having such a hard time locating them. I do have a green and a red that came with the North Pole series that I never used. So you know what? I'm gonna bring them in. Stamps and stuff, I don't know yet. Don't know what we're doing. Follow along and let's see where we go with this. Be back in a little bit. And I'm back with kind of where I'm at. So when I looked at this sketch, they don't really indicate what's in the back of this. Is it like all one sheet? So I thought, you know what, let me start kind of making this my own. And when I looked, a lot of these papers have to be cut like vertically, at least in this paper pack, to kind of make sense. So unless I was going to turn this design, this wasn't really going to make sense for me, because even this, like I said, would be half. So when I went through, the only papers that I really did not want to use, like that full graphic on, was like maybe this one, and then the ones that I pulled out of here, which was the one with this on it. And these, to me, I told you I was going to try and use this side. So I thought, I don't want to use the frames, I already explained, especially in this scale, are very, very small. So I'm kind of cutting them apart. So I started with the Sugar Pea Sketch 52. And for me, I want to stretch my paper. So for me, the most I know I'm going to kind of get in a card front is 2 from a 6x6 paper sheet. So I already knew I needed 3 inches, so I just cut it so that I could have 2 and 1. And again, to make the scale kind of work, I thought, let me do the layering so that, you know, it adds to the paper, but adds to the effect of the card. But I didn't need to worry about if the 3 was going to kind of stretch this way on it. So I cut the background layer at the 1/8 off, which was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Then I cut this silver foil, or I'm sorry, gold foil at the 4 by 5 1/4. And then I went down to, obviously, like I said, I needed 3, but I cut the length at 5. So I went from 5 1/4 to 5 so I could have a bigger reveal of the gold. And then I pulled out, they have like a circle here. And like I said, I was just using it for inspiration because like I said, I kind of think I want to use these. And for these, I used my trimmer. You've got to go 1 1/2 exactly, like line them up before you make the cut because there's not any extra here. And then these are on the 2. So these are a 2 inch by 1 1/2 inch wide. So I think they're going to look good this way. I'm probably, knowing me, going to want to mat something up behind them to add a layer behind. The Queen & Company's Foundation Die 3, I think I left it at my die machine, has just a strip with stitching that goes all the way around it. It's over my machine. That goes for a horizontal card layout. Then they have another foundation die that turns it and goes vertically. But obviously I needed this one because I have my card laid out horizontally. So I used that to get my layer here. And then I have this old Fiskars border punch that I use to get my, I have a scallop down underneath here, as the sketch has. So I'm just using it, like I said, for my inspiration. Before I get into too many more things, like I said, like layering up, I wanted to do a video. And then I have an idea of doing, Spellbinders has a poinsettia die that's called Cinch and Go, and you can do like a real 3D, like cupped up poinsettia, and you can use some stamens in the center. I may use that, I gotta see, because it may get just way too thick. I have mentioned that I like to use these as a giveaway in my clients' packages that purchase from me. I'll probably start putting Christmas in towards September 1st, and I need quite a few of these. but I don't want to, give something to a client that's going to cost them, $3 to mail it either. I want to keep them as flat and, cost effective as I can. I don't want them hating me for it. So, I haven't decided yet. I do like this paper. I may just make cards because I don't have a lot made for myself personally. I don't mind paying a little bit extra. I'll buy the stamps that you use for like the weddings. And, I don't mind if I add the layers and stuff like that for my cards because I know when I'm doing it that expense is going to be in there. So I will be back and probably just use this as part 1 of the series. But I'll lay this out as a final and then I'll be back. It's Kristen and I'm back. I did my laying out and I'm kind of thinking ahead because when I cut these pages, when you cut this, with me using 3 of them, I'm getting 4 card embellishments out of a sheet, but I'm only getting 2 out of this print. So I'm going to wind up having 2 of these extra. And then the front and back cover, I didn't realize, both have this cut aparts here. And so these are like embellishments that are like kind of extras. And when you started, so I have all of this, so put this page aside. When you lay these out, you really had 6 combinations. And these 3 are just so beautiful that I really, oh my God, the glue, I gotta get them off. I don't see me doing anything other than splitting them in half. I don't know if I'm gonna use them in a sense of doing a slimline card. I didn't get bit by that slimline bug yet. So I'm thinking I can use part of it like on the front and then maybe use some of these embellishments like to kind of fill out a regular, if I did these for myself, I'm thinking I may want to try some 5x7s. I gotta see, because that's gonna be 2 inches wide by 1 inch longer than what I would get when I cut these in half, that I'd have to fill up. And I don't know, maybe one of these cut aparts would be a good accent for that. So that's a different thinking. So for these, I know these 3, I'm not using these back sides. They're cute and they're nice to kind of mix and match in, but the reason I bought the paper is honestly for this kind of stuff, not this. So these 3 are getting put aside for something different. So really what I'm left with is, like I said, these cut aparts that are on the front and back page and this. And I was looking at this paper and I'm like, it's got some cute stuff, but I think really when it comes down to it, when you have to make some decisions on what you like, I really believe that this backside is what I'm going to have to use to kind of go with some of these other things. And I hadn't gotten into the 12x12, so I'm kind of thinking that I have different plans for some of these papers. So I'm gonna do these in a couple parts, and I think I will use this by itself on its own. If there's scraps left from this, maybe I'll incorporate it in, but I am gonna put this aside for right now. I'm gonna just focus on the 6x6. So like I said, I have this pretty well thought out. I have these 3 with a general idea. So now I'll be left with this, and I mean, this paper is beautiful, but like I said, I'm trying to start thinking ahead before I start just cutting everything. I want to, give myself an idea as to how I can stretch the paper, because I could do this in the same kind of design as the other one, but that would just use up all of this paper to this, and then I'd have these left. So I'm going to, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish this card. I know I'm really only gonna have 1 scrap of this left for each sheet. So I'm really not going to have a lot of scrap left out of this paper. So I'm not really worried about scrap papers. These I'm not going to have any scraps left from, so I'm not thinking about that either. So I think I'm going to lay these out on a card, finish this card, and then I'll be back, because I think when I go to do these, I'm going to need some things to dress them up, and I have a feeling they're going to come out of some of this stuff here. And then I'll see what's left, to how much I have left to do with this. So that is the plan of looking through the paper pack, to make sure I'm getting the most out of it and doing with it what I kind of want to do with it, meaning, you know, what sold me on this paper when I looked at it and salivated and said I had to have it. So, okay, I will, hope I didn't confuse you on this, but I will be back. I'm going to get some of this laid out, and then I'll be back. Coming back to wrap up part one, I had some recording errors, and just realized when I was getting ready to upload it that, that I didn't kind of wrap it up correctly. I'm going to wrap up the end of part one now for the Mintay Papers Merry and Bright for Christmas. I do have part two coming not very long after part one here, and that will show you the finished product of the card I'm showing you here. I hope you're finding some inspiration in how I think through dissecting these packs to get the most in stretching the paper, but being effective about it and making the cards look really very nice. So I would appreciate if you got some inspiration, if you would do some thumbs up down below saying you liked the video. Also, if you could subscribe down below, it would really help the channel. It would also give you the first idea of when the next part is coming, so that you can continue to follow along with this paper pack. I am getting close to, like I said, I'm into part two now, so that will be following not long after this upload. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.